quietly and follow along. At any point, click the pause button to catch up or take a break. Alright, today we're going to be making these awesome dragon heads, and I'm going to be using a Sharpie marker so you can see my lines nice and clear in the video. We're going to start by making the actual head of the dragon and then texturing it using bubble wrap for the scales. How cool is that? So first need you to turn your paper the long way up and down away from your tummy, okay? Here's what my paper kind of looks like. Please grab a pencil and we're going to start at the top of our page. We're going to begin by making the top of the dragon's head like so. We're going to be doing a large stretched out M. So 2 humps, 1 and then 2. Just like that on the top of your page. Next, we're going to be coming in now like so. 1 curve in, 2 curve in on each side. This doesn't have to be perfect, remember, no dragon's head is exactly perfect. After that, we're going to connect each end where we just lifted up our pencil with a giant curve coming out, around, down, and up to connect. Okay, now we're going to cut it out. Okay, your scraps can go in a recycling bin, off to the side, or in the scrap bin, depending on the day. Here we go. Here is the head of our dragon. Awesome job. We're now going to put some bubble wrap. I already did this, but I put some bubble wrap on a wood block, so it's kind of like a stamp. It's very important that you do not pop the bubbles. That's what's going to give us the texture. I know it's going to be tempting, but if you pop the bubbles, it will wreck our stamp and you won't get that awesome scaly texture for your dragon. Before we begin stamping though, I'm going to put down a piece of paper behind my dragon's head. But any paper will do behind. Remember, we're going to grab that awesome stamp and I'm going to have a dish of paint and a paintbrush. Here's how you're going to first apply the paint to your stamp. Remember, don't pop the bubbles. With your paintbrush, you're going to take it and you're going to stroke, stroke, stroke. You can see the bubbles really clearly now and the awesome pattern, but that's not enough paint. It still looks a little dry, so I'm going to come back and you can stroke it several times. It's okay if you get some paint kind of off the edge or in the crease, that is a-okay as well. We want to make sure we have a good amount of paint on there. Not too much where it's like covered and dripping, but you'll have to just get a feel for it through practice. You'll know you have enough paint and you can stroke in all different directions when all your bubbles are nicely covered. There we go. Set my paintbrush down. Now I'm going to take my stamp, flip it over. The wood block is really helpful because if it was just a loose piece of bubble wrap, it'd be hard to control with my hands. Next, I'm going to line it up at the bottom corner of my dragon. And I'm just going to go nice even. I'm not going to go at a tilt or an angle. I'm going to go straight up and down and press. Just a couple taps. Just like that. 1, 2, 3. And lift. Voila. You can see where there's bubbles missing. That is where the bubbles have been popped on the bubble wrap. A little sad, but it happens, and it's going to give our dragon a really unique textured pattern. Let's repeat this process again. I take my paintbrush and my paint, and I'm going to just go back and forth, all different directions, adding more paint. When we go all different directions, we're getting a nice, even texture and coat of paint. Here we go. Flip your stamp over. Remember, going straight up and down, and we're going to line it up where we just left off. You can even overlap it a little bit. Press, 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 and voila! Perfecto! Here we go again. Okay, flipping over our stamp, getting our paint on our paintbrush and stroking it all different directions. Here we go. I'm gonna turn my stamp this way now. Press, 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 not too much pressure, and lift. Oh, that is a perfect one. Wow. Okay, we're gonna take a pause here, and I just want you to see areas where there may have been too much or too little paint. Some bubbles are barely noticeable. That may be because they're popped or there's not enough paint in those areas. The ones that have too much paint are the ones that look kind of goobery. But overall, these are looking pretty good. So we're gonna continue on. I'm gonna grab more paint, flip over my stamp, stroke, 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 all different directions. Here we go. Lining it up. And press, press, press. Just a little tap. Lift her up. Looking pretty good. You're going to be repeating this process over and over until your dragon head is covered. Okay, our dragon head is fully scaled. You can put your stamp aside and your paint. What we're going to be doing next is we're going to be creating the other elements of our dragon head. I'm going to slide this up. The other elements include maybe the ear or the horns, and then they also have like these eyebrow scales. We're also going to do eyes and nostrils. Pretty cool. So we're going to begin with the ears, and here we have a half sheet of paper that is darker green, so it really shows up. Once again, I'll be using a Sharpie marker so you can see things nice and clearly. Now we want to be able to save paper, so we're going to get all four, that's 2 horns and 2 eyebrows, out of the same paper. Okay, so to make things a little easier, I'm going to turn my paper this way so it's the long way up and down. We're going to begin with the ear. And for the ear, it's really easy. Instead of drawing a line, I'm going to save myself the time to draw and to cut. I'm going to be using the edge of the paper. It's kind of like a nice little secret. find the top corner of your paper. There you go. And from there, you're gonna draw at an angle down, straight down. And then instead of drawing a triangle straight across, we are going to draw from the corner up and down. That kind of gives our dragon a nice, cool, curved horn. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side, because it has one for the left side and the right side of his face. From the corner, go down at an angle and curve up and over to the edge. There is our two horns. We can cut them out. Here we go. And here is our two horns. Pretty cool. Next on our paper, it kind of looks a little silly right now. That's okay. We're gonna now use this same paper to draw the eyebrows of our dragon. Here's how you draw the eyebrows. They're not as hard as you look. Anywhere on your paper, I'm gonna turn mine to the side now so it's going the long way. We're gonna start by making a curve, a nice big curve on the top half of the paper. After the curve, we're gonna go with our pencil on one end, make 3 humps, 1, 2, 3, that go across. You can actually do as many, curves as you like across to the other point. That's gonna be one eyebrow or scale. Here, let's do another one. One big hump and all the way across. 1, 2, 3, connecting to that other point. They don't have to be the same. I think, in fact, it gives our dragon a little character if things aren't perfectly the same. Our faces are not symmetrical, meaning that they're not the same on both sides evenly. It's just the way human nature is and how we are made. So our dragons don't have to be perfect either. We're gonna cut them out, and then we'll be able to paste them onto our dragon. Okay, I'm just gonna turn mine over so you can't see my marker lines. There is our eyebrows and our horns. Pretty fun. We do have a couple more things we need to make, artists, and that includes some eyes. I'm just gonna take some white pieces of paper right here, and we're gonna start with a pencil. And here I can cut out some from before so you can kind of see what we're gonna do. I'm gonna draw 2 circles for my eyes. Again, they don't have to be the same size. You can have one eye smaller than the other. That makes it kind of fun. I'm going to cut these out. Here's one eye. And 2 eyes. Awesome. Next, what we're gonna do is the nostrils. And for the nostrils, I'm just using scrap pieces of black paper. This one's kind of small, some paper. Okay, so for the nostrils, real easy, except they're gonna be in black with a pencil. They're gonna be 2 ovals, just like that. And then you're gonna cut them out. Okay, be right back with some more black paper. Okay, here are my 2 black ovals for our nostrils of our dragon. We also have 2 eyes, 2 eyebrow scales, and 2 horns. Now before we glue these on, you can color the dragon eyes. I like to put like a black pupil in the center, just like that. I left some of it white in the inside so it looks like a shine on the eye. There we go. You can also decorate with different markers or color the scales. I like to just really show the shape of the ear. So I'm gonna take one line going down and curve just to really bring out that shape. You don't have to though. You can color these however you like and decorate them. That's the fun part. I'm gonna be doing my scales just like that. All right. You could even give your dragon colored eyes. That's totally fine as well. Now my dragon head is completely dry since we used tempera paint. So now I get to glue them down. If your glue is, or if your paint is a little wet, you can also use regular glue instead of a glue stick. Here we go. Oop, all my glue sticks are out. I'm just gonna use a glue bottle. Here we go. I'm gonna begin with the ears. We're gonna glue down the ears. So we're gonna flip over and we're gonna put glue on the bottom half only. Only the bottom with the curved side. Flip them up and you can put them on top of your dragon's head. Let's do the other ear. I'm gonna apply glue near the curved side of our triangle. Only half of the triangle with the curved side. And apply them to the head. You can put your ears at a straight, kind of an angle. That's totally fine. Okay, next I'm gonna do the eyebrow scales. So I'm gonna just add glue. I'm gonna do it so, because they're gonna hang off the edge of our head a little bit, I'm gonna do it mainly on this side, right over here. And we're gonna put those down. And the other side, I'm gonna put glue on this side. So I'm gonna flip and add glue. Awesome. Now for our eyes, you can add the eyes anywhere you want on the head. I like to put mine kind of above the bottom of the head, but towards the eyebrows more. And your eyes can be wide apart or really close. Whatever kind of personality or characteristic you want to give your dragon. There we go. Now for the nostrils, I'm going to move this up a little bit and we're going to apply glue to the whole nostril. And they're going to be towards the bottom, just like that. There we go. Perfect. There is our dragon, but we are missing some things that make it a bit more ferocious. We need some flames. I'm going to use yellow, orange, and I have a little bit of red paper over here from scraps. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip the paper. The cool edge, when you rip it, of the paper is kind of fuzzy and it looks more like flames. I'm going to start by laying the yellow on my dragon because it is the biggest piece I have and it's kind of a nice soft color to start with. I'm going to apply glue only to the top part of my flame because that's where it's going to be touching my dragon. There we go. I do have some orange. Here's a better piece right here. Rip a couple pieces, and when you rip your flames, I like to do nice diamond shaped or triangle shapes. That's just a good shape for the way the flame is like thrown out of the dragon's mouth, or excuse me, nostrils. Whew. And I'm just gonna lay it over the top. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's gonna be jetting out of that dragon's nostrils so fast, it does not have to line up perfectly. Go. And last, I'm going to add little touches of red. Red really shows the heat of that fire. There we go. There we go. Okay, that is our dragon. Something I like to do just to kind of give it a finishing touches, I like to take a marker and I like just to show how the shape of the face comes down, starting with below the eye and straight down to the nostrils on each side. It just kind of gives the dragon a little bit more shape to the face. You don't have to, but it works. You can also kind of come around the nostrils a little bit more too to really bring out that characteristic. All right, that is how you make a collage ferocious scaly dragon.